You're welcome back. Well, superfoods are those that are rich in compounds such as antioxidants, fiber, fatty acids, and considered beneficial to a person's health. So foods such as garlic, broccoli, oats, eggs, potato, and a whole lot more. Now, how much production of these superfoods and what potentials are inherent in the packaging and for export? What can Nigeria do with this? We have the Chief Executive Officer of Big Farms Concept, Adebowale Onufowora, joining us now from Abeokuta. Good morning, Adebowale. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So
Yeah.
Nigeria has been talking a whole lot about diversification, so that we're not so dependent on oil as we see. We're not even making the most of the potential in the oil and gas area. From your perspective, at least you're into agriculture, how successful are these efforts to diversify the Nigerian economy? How successful has it been so far?
Uh, uh, Let me say, well, we are on the right path. I think from some few years back, certain effort has been made. For example, in the area of growing certain crops that we were importing into Nigeria. Um, if you go around all the big grocery shops, certain crops were being imported, and it was because we don't have facility to produce these crops. I think sometimes in 2017, there was a policy that says things like greenhouses should be imported duty free, and that gave room to a big opening in that industry. So some of these crops are now being grown here in Nigeria, and I think it has made a lot of inroad into reducing the forex that were required for such crops. So we are moving gradually, but we are still very slow. Let me give you an example. Certain countries have covered more than 80,000 hectares of land, and Nigeria has not done 500 hectares. And some of these crops cannot be produced if you don't have what we call controlled environment system in place. So, but other than what we used to have, we are moving gradually towards that area. That's what I will say. Good
Okay, what,
progress. We can do better, but we are moving.
Okay, what about the superfoods that we're talking about? A lot of countries would actually welcome exports of some of these healthy foods, which are called superfoods. Any attention, or is it just the subsistence farming that is happening in those areas?
The truth is, the superfoods are actually a major area we need to think about. In fact, the export opportunity in this field are massive. You see, the fact that we are a tropical country gives a lot of advantage to what is grown here, either controlled or not controlled. The taste of what is grown here gives better chances than what you see out there. The usage of fertilizer in a country like Nigeria is still premiumly low, and that helps the taste, the shelf life of what we produce. But we are not really maximizing it. I can tell you that we are exporting very little quantity of our herbs, of our superfoods. We are not exporting broccoli. We are not exporting kale. We are not exporting beef tomatoes. We are not exporting black tomatoes. And these are crops that are very rich. We are not exporting stevia. Stevia has zero calorie when it comes to the calorie involved, and it's 200 times sweeter than sugar. It's a huge opportunity that a country like Nigeria has. We are not exploiting any export opportunity in this area yet. I can tell you that. The funny part also is even the local market for some of these superfoods are not even being scratched as we talk. Yes, they are not being scratched. So it's huge. One of the advantages we've had recently is the fact that sourcing forex for importing some of this food reduced. So most of the off-takers looked inward and it gave opportunity. But we have not touched the potential that these commodities and let me say this fruit have. We have not. We have not. It's still very
Maybe,
massive. That's the
maybe
truth.
we have not done that, Adobowale, because people like you have not been talking about it. Maybe people like you have not been promoting it.
Oh well, You're right. To a certain extent, we've not done enough in the area of promoting it. Actually, people lost faith in agriculture. The picture we painted for agriculture before, it's an industry where dirty people go into. It's not a place where you want to look nice, you want to make money, especially as young people. We are the youngest country in the world today, but a lot of our young people are not in this industry. You can imagine that. And that's one of the reasons why techniques, like hydroponics technology, greenhouse farming, are making inroad into Nigeria. It captivates the attention of the young people. You can grow food faster. You can maximize space, save water. Imagine growing in a controlled environment on 1 hectare of land, what you need 50 hectares to do in the open field. So these are some of the things that are now bringing and drawing back the attention of young people like us, into this field. And that's why I say there's still a lot to be done. In fact, this type of farming is not being promoted by most of the universities. They are just getting to know it's possible in Nigeria. But like I say, it's a work in progress. I believe the future is very bright for this area. A lot of young people are taking attention or giving attention for this type of farming now, and I see it as a very huge future in Nigeria. Yeah, because the potential is massive. The market is there, both local and export market. And I think with work that people like you guys are doing, the future is bright.
So you keep talking about the controlled environment. I know you're referring partly to the hydroponic farming, but should that be a priority for us? We do have the land, we do have good soil. Because I know that it also has its own requirements, and funding and skills that you need to run hydroponic farming. So should that be a priority, or should we work on what we have and do mechanized farming and get the fertilizer to the farmers and all that? Oh, I think, can you hear me,
Yeah, I'm with
Adibali?
you. I'm with you. Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, so I was asking, you keep referring to controlled farming, which in part is hydroponic farming. And I'm saying, should that be our priority here in Nigeria? Since we do have the soil, we do have good soil, we should have the fertilizer, So shouldn't we just focus mostly on getting mechanized farming in place, good seedlings, and then no, because with hydroponic, you also have its own demands, its own funding that is required.
Okay, I think we need to look at the root cause of our problem. And the root cause basically is the food production system. That's the biggest challenge. We wait for rainfall, before we go to produce. And you can't be sustainable. Listen to this. Hunger is not seasonal. Why should food production be seasonal? So depending solely on the soil means a lot of people wait for rainfall. Now, practices like hydroponics is not the only thing that we can do. What about irrigation, drip irrigation? You save on water and you produce better. The fact is, if agriculture is not made attractive, a lot of our young people will not be involved. Imagine the average age of farmer in Nigeria is 60, and the average age of a Nigerian is below 30. So who are the people that should be producing food? Young people want agriculture to be attractive. So you can't take that away from them. And that's one of the reasons why we have depended so much on importing. Where we are importing from, where or how are these food being produced? It's not only hydroponics, yes, but the production system is different. You have drip irrigation system, you have certain equipment that makes work easier. You'll be shocked that an average young Nigeria, those that are not even educated, go into the farming community, the farm, to look for money to buy bike. The next thing, they move into the city. One of the things contributing to what you see in our cities is because young people are moving into the urban area, at an alarming rate. So we need to make agriculture actually attractive if we want to retain our young people. And that's the only way we can have more, creative hands in the food production system. Yes, we have the soil. We just need to do some little things to touch our soil and then make them more better productive. But also in the area of the nutrients that we are using on our soil, we are not using the right ones. Let me tell you this. There's something called the law of minimum. The micronutrients are what we are lacking in our soil, but we are feeding our soil with urea, with NPK. They don't majorly contribute to yield. You see, what affects food yield is not the unavailability of the macronutrient, it's the unavailability of what we call the micronutrient. And this is the type of fertilizer we are not putting in our soil. We are putting urea, nitrogen, NPK, and all that. They are okay, but they are not what determine yield. How can we be harvesting 4 tons of tomato per hectare in Nigeria when you are doing 70 tons in outside, in some other clients? That's not acceptable. What percentage of that? And out of this 4 tons, less than half even get to fork. You understand what I'm saying? So even on our soil, we are not doing the right thing, which I think the production system needs to be revamped. We need a lot of education. We need to do the right thing to get even our soil going. But we are not doing that. So that's where the issues are.
All right, that's one issue. And then,
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, the other issue you talk about is making it attractive to the young people. Now, would that mean having the mechanized farming, or is it about taking it to schools, or what do you think can hasten that? Or maybe there's the need for the already market so that the young people know that money, because a lot of young people now are not very patient.
Both measures are needed. You see, it's not about money. Let me shock you. A kg of bell pepper, that's a sweet pepper. Currently, the green one is 1,005. The colored ones are 1,800. On a 240 square meter, that's half a plot of land. You can produce about 3 tons of that. 3,000 kg times 1.5 million. Do you know how much that is? But you need technology to get that done. So it's not about producing, in large, using a large space, and then you are not producing what actually has value. High value crops attracts young people more because, they get to make the money. I tell people, who says you can't grow money on the tree? Every bell pepper, every beef tomato on my tree is money. And that attracts a lot of young people. So let's take that technology to our schools. You get what I'm saying? Many schools now don't have enough space for even farming. And farm-based education has a way of helping the mind of young people. Do you know how interesting it will be to put a seed in the soil and you see it grow? You see it start fruiting, you now take it to the market. You'll be shocked that, wow, I planted something and it has brought a lot of returns to me. So we need that in our schools. Currently, 98% of graduates of agronomy in Nigeria cannot manage a farm effectively because they don't have what it takes. Many of them now have to go for further training. So I think we need to encourage that. And it should start from the schools. No other industry or no other places can solve that problem for us, if not our schools. So we need to do that. And then other than that, we also need support. There's something they do in China, it's called subsidy for farmers in the area of technology. Why can't we have subsidy for farmers? Why can't we have greenhouses built and then young people have 5 years to pay back? They own it. They pay rent to own instead of you just renting. You understand? So you have 5 years to pay back on your greenhouse. Of course, you'll be happy that in 5 years' time it will become yours. You are not renting it. You understand what I'm saying? It's not cheap to assess some of these things. But these tools are needed to solve food production system. There is no country that is food sustainable that is not using technology, even mechanized ones. There are certain tractors that can make ridges for you. What would take one person 2 weeks to do, a certain tractor can do in 2 hours. So how can we be as effective as a country using that? So we just can't, shy away from these things. We need them, and that's the truth.
Yeah, thank you so much, Adibowale Onofowora. As they always say in Nigeria, we're not bereft of ideas. We do have ideas. It's when it comes to implementation. These conversations we've had, many, many times. So we do hope we will see the implementation. If not from the public sector, let's have it from the private sector. At least let's get the country moving. Thank you so much, Chief Executive Officer.
Yeah, the private are doing their part. Thank you. Yeah.
Please do more. the Chief Executive
It's
Officer
okay.
of Big Farms Concept. Thank you so much for sharing your time and your ideas with us. We do wish you the best and hope to see those superfoods being exported out of the country and bringing revenue to the country in a short time.
We'll do that. Thank you. Thank you.